Jingle bells, catch me if you can.
Give it back, James.
Go on, take it.
I'll tell Mommy.
Grab it.
Hey, what's all the noise here?
James stole my teddy.
Not Captain Cuddles. We'll have to get him back then. Come on. Come on. Wait, all
Learn
right.
your lesson. Guys can't catch me. Oh.
He's very ticklish. Got it.
Dad?
Yeah, Sweet Pea?
Have you and the kids set the table yet?
Yep, definitely. It's all set.
Good. You didn't use the brown plates, did you? The ones with the brown trim? It's the white ones with the gold trim.
No, we
Those
didn't use the brown plates. No, we didn't do that.
Oh, and one of the glasses has a chip in it. Don't use it if you don't have to.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. We definitely won't use that one, okay?
And the forks go on the left side of the plate. You remember that?
Just like your mom taught me. Yeah, no problem there.
Oh, and you use the nice tablecloth, right? The one Mom made?
Yeah, we wouldn't want to forget that old heirloom.
Good. Well, with that done, we're just about... Dad?
Sorry, we had like a teddy bear emergency.
Do I have to do everything? John's gonna be home any minute. Dinner still isn't half done. I don't know how we're gonna eat before midnight.
We'll take care of everything out here. Don't worry about
Just make sure you get it right because I don't have time to come running in and out.
It'll be fine. Trust me.
I'm sorry, Dad. I don't mean to be bossy. It's just hard to do it all myself.
That's why you got me here. Hey, did you happen to make that stuffing like your mom used to make with the little almond slippers?
Dad.
I love that so much. But you didn't make any green bean casserole, did you? I am so sick of green bean casserole. You remember that year your friend came over and she brought that huge trough of green bean casserole? So many beans. I decided right then and there that was enough for me.
Mom, I put the cider on the stove, but it's not getting any hotter. Did you check to make sure the flame was lit? I think so. Can't you come help? I suppose I'll have to. Oh, that'll be your Uncle David. Would you let him in? Please not be bad, Uncle David. That's Spanish for Merry Christmas.
Well, Merry Christmas to you too, sweetie. Oh, wow, smell that turkey kill. Whoa, hi.
In German, it's Fröhliche Weihnachten.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have Grandpa, we have kids. Sounds like a recipe for trouble.
What, me? Trouble?
Yeah.
Never.
Hey, Uncle David, do you want to hear a joke?
Oh, yes I do.
What happens when you cross a snowman and a vampire?
I don't know, what?
Frostbite! Do you agree saying presents, Uncle David?
Oh, wow, straight to business, huh, James?
No!
Who's there?
Avery!
Avery who?
Avery, Merry Christmas!
Oh my, you're coming along. You're coming along. Okay, I have a joke for you too then. Okay, what do you call a singing elf?
I don't know. What?
Elfis.
I do not get it.
Well, Elvis, he's the king.
Who is Elvis?
Killing me, Smalls.
Uncle David, we learned a song.
Oh, did you?
For Christmas.
Grandpa taught us.
Nice.
He pulled out his guitar and taught them Silent Night.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, you're a sight for sore eyes.
Hey, hello, Amy. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Welcome to the circus.
Well, thank you very much. Where's that brother of mine?
Oh, he'll be home any minute. Not that we'll have anything to feed him at this rate.
Okay. Well, how can I help?
Well, let's see. Assuming that table ever gets set, it's too early to start the potatoes. The turkey's still got a while. Oh, for goodness sake, look at the tree. It's only half decorated. Sam, where was that box of ornaments you and I never finished hanging? You and your uncle can work on that. Get that table set, you three. I'll go check the cider.
Oh, wow. You know, I grew up with your mom, and I have to say, she has not changed one bit since from when we were kids. She could always kind of be a little bit frantic and also kind of
Bossy.
yeah.
Grandpa?
What? I'm her father. I can say that.
It's worse than the kids.
Hey!
Hey, Sam, where are those ornaments?
Right here.
Oh, thank you.
Uncle David, look at what I made. It's for the tree.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Did you know that there are 24 million real trees and 11 million fake trees sold in the United States in the past year? That's 35 million trees.
Oh, gosh. Where did you hear that?
The internet.
Well, then God knows it's true. Okay, let's get going with this tree. Oh, hey, how about that song, you three? Just get us in the mood. There you go.
Speaking of bossy,
Okay, that's enough out of you, old man.
life lesson here, kids. Can't argue with some people. Best just to do as you're told. Right, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for your Christmas enjoyment and pleasure, I present the greatest duo of modern time, the great bards themselves, Sarah and James.
Woo!
I'm pretty sure that it's figgy pudding with an F.
Nope, it's Piggy!
Well, that's yours. That one's yours.
Oh no, he's his father's.
Well, potato.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Table, table, table!
Oh!
Father, we eat in 1 hour!
Happy Christmas! Oh, okay. Oh, hi. Oh. Merry Christmas. Oh.
Did you bring us a tree?
Oh, you can't expect that I bring you something every time. You kids are too spoiled. I'm gonna have to crack down on you guys.
Yeah, why'd you bring us? Yeah, why'd you bring us?
Yeah, what'd you bring us?
Okay, I might have brought you something, but first I have to know, have you guys been really good today?
Yeah, no.
Mother, have they been good? I'll take it as a yes. All right, left over for the shelter Christmas party.
Till afternoon. Sorry, it's my job.
Hi.
Hi. How was the shelter?
Oh, it was good as gold. The Christmas party is always the highlight of the year. We had a record crowd this year. I almost thought we were going to run out of food.
Oh, yeah? Which shelter was that?
The one in Oregon City.
He's been a volunteer there for ages.
You're kidding. My brother volunteers? Who'd have thought? What's your job over there? Do you taste the food?
Oh, very funny, Mr. Munchmouth.
Okay.
No, actually, I always feel like I receive more than I give when I'm there. You know, people who have the least are usually the most generous.
Sure. I bet they are. Did everybody get enough?
Oh, not quite. When we were just finished cleaning up, this father and his daughter came in. They hadn't heard about the party to make it in time, and man, the look on their faces when they realized they missed it, it was just... Oh,
Who in the
in
world
fact,
would
yeah,
that be?
no, I'll explain, just, be nice.
What is he talking about?
It's me.
Hi, Merry Christmas, come on in. Honey, this is the people I was just talking about. This is Stefan, and this is his daughter,
It's a Luca now.
Luca, ma'am. Yes, and, well, they're friends of mine. I met them today at the shelter. They're from, Ukraine. Isn't that interesting? As it happens, they had no plans today. On Christmas. Imagine that. No sitting by the fire, no family, no dinner, no hot apple cider. I mean, it's practically criminal.
I see. It's nice to meet you.
And I told them they could stay for dinner.
Why are they so dirty?
Sarah, how rude.
They talk funny too.
Stefan, the bathroom is just down the hall if you and Luca want to go freshen up.
Yeah, make yourselves at home.
John! What were you thinking?
I know, but they were living in their car and they didn't have anywhere to go.
But John,
It's
I don't
cold
have
out.
anywhere to put them.
It's
here.
Christmas, honey. It's not like I offered to adopt
John,
them. I just wanted.
Stop talking. Oh. That was very thoughtful of you. I'm glad our kids get to see their dad being so generous, but it is one thing to work at the shelter. That's a great way to help people, but this is too much. Sometimes you're just a sucker for a sob story. You don't know these people. I don't know these people. We don't know why they're homeless. He could be a lazy good-for-nothing who won't get a job. That man could be an alcoholic or a drug user or even a thief, and you have invited them into our home. You should have called me, John. You should have asked me first.
Come on, they're hardly a band of hardened criminals.
Oh, did you see how dirty they were? It was a really nice thing you did, John, but it's just not practical. I practically used our last dime getting this meal for our family. We can't afford to be feeding extra mouths.
There will be enough. It'll be a Christmas miracle.
Oh, it's not funny, John.
No, I know. What do you want me to do? Tell them to leave?
No, that's not what I want.
I know. I should have called and we should have made this decision together, but in the moment, all I saw was a hungry girl and her dad. I had to do something.
Okay. Well, I'd better get to work on dinner if we want to have anything to offer them. But don't be expecting any turkey leftovers this week. If our turkey were any smaller, it'd be called a chicken.
Okay. Are those potatoes ready to be peeled?
Yeah.
Okay, bring those out here. I'll put our guests to work.
We don't want to be imposition. We'll go. It's very nice to meet you all. You have a beautiful home.
No, stay. You're welcome to stay. Right, Mom? Oh, yes, of course.
No,
Please
we
stay and
wouldn't
join
want
us.
to ruin your Christmas Eve.
No,
Thank you.
Nonsense.
Absolute fiddle-faddle.
Fiddle faddle? Really? We'd love to have you join us, Stefan. Stay.
Well, thank you then.
Okay, well, everyone who eats pitches in, so Luca, how about grabbing those potatoes?
Oh, she would love to.
This way.
She doesn't say much, does she?
No. I'm afraid moving to this country is very difficult for her.
Poor kid.
Yeah, she's been through a lot. Seen things that no child should, from war, refugee camp, and she had to leave everything behind. She's waited a very long time for something like a normal life, and when we finally got to this country, I got a job and we were living in a cheap motel for a few months. But then I was laid off. I was a teacher in Ukraine, but here all I can seem to find is manual labor, and even that is hard to come by. But anyway, she has not spoken in a very long time.
You must worry.
Someone told me once that worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. I try to keep that in mind, but I do not always succeed.
Well, I hope you can forget your worries for a while today.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, Luca. Hey, thanks for coming over for Christmas. How about sitting here with me and helping me with these potatoes? We'll get them peeled in no time.
Stefan, would you like some hot cider?
Oh, if it's no trouble.
None at all. Back in a flash.
Oh, hey, John. Before I forget, I have a surprise for you. I brought you a present.
Really nice of you, bro, but
I
I mean, hardly a surprise because it's Christmas.
Okay.
Oh, wait, is it that box set of Chuck Norris DVDs I ask for every year?
Hey. The only gift Chuck Norris ever gives you is the chance to stay alive.
Oh, all right. Nugget!
Every year.
Okay.
No. It's a different kind of present. You know what? You just need to open it. Just open it right now.
Okay.
Can we all open presents now?
No.
I can't figure out what it could be.
Well, I found it back in June. You know when we were cleaning out Mom and Dad's?
Uh-oh. A relic from the past, huh? Mm-hmm. Almost afraid to see what it is. Oh, wow. I didn't know they still had this.
Yeah, I know. They had it tucked way in the back of the coat closet.
What is it, Daddy?
It's a hat. It's my dad's Mr. Scrooge hat. Remember, dear?
I do.
Our dad used to pull that hat out every single Christmas, and he would tell us the story of mean old Mr. Scrooge.
He didn't have the energy for it near the end, but in the old days, let me tell you, it was a sight to see.
I remember. Oh, that's right. You would have been 4 or 5 the last time.
I remember Grandpa running around the room, jumping up on the table, making faces. I read the story myself when I was older.
And, well, I thought maybe you would continue the tradition, John.
Me?
Oh, come on. You know you're the best one to play Mr. Scrooge.
Who's Mr. Scrooge?
Who's Mr. Scrooge? I've never told you about Mr. Scrooge.
I'm afraid Luca and we don't know the story either.
Well, now you have to do it, John. And the book is in there as well.
Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge, the meanest, evilest, greediest, stingiest, most Christmas-hating miser in all England.
But I'll give him a run for his money if that table doesn't get set. Enough fooling around, we have...
Mr. Scrooge sets no tables! He has an army of servants for that.
He must be very wealthy.
Richest man in England, right, Dad?
Yes, the richest and the meanest.
Oh, well, yes, John, but first we must tell them all about old Jacob Marley. Marley was dead to begin with.
There was no doubt whatever about that.
Dead as a doornail. That must be clearly understood, or nothing that follows will seem wondrous. Marley was dead.
But Scrooge had never taken his name off the old counting house where he worked his miserable little business. There the sign hung, year after year, a bleak old sign on a bleak old building, reading...
Scrooge and Marley. Now, that's really enough, John.
Amy,
Today has been hectic enough
The
without
kids
adding...
have never heard this story.
We can watch the movie later. Now, David, thank you so much for this. It really brings back some wonderful memories. Now, someone can start mashing the potatoes. David, why don't you fix the punch? Dad, I really need you to finish setting this table. And John, you can carve the turkey as soon as it's done. But why don't you clean up this room in the meantime? Because believe it or not, it was clean 20 minutes ago.
Look, Amy, look! She wants to hear about old Mr. Scrooge, don't you, Luca? See, how can you say no to that?
Oh, all right. You all have a jolly time, and I will be in the kitchen making your dinner.
No, I'm afraid everyone's going to have to pitch in. No, there's so many parts, we need everyone.
John,
Come on, by the time we're done, the turkey will just be finished.
John,
Amy. It's for the children.
Oh, all right.
And speaking of children, every good story needs excellent sound effects. So, if you kids will watch, then when we adults cue you, then you can make all the different sounds for us, okay? Sound good? All right, so first let's practice something. Make for me the sound of the wind. Nice, there we go. Where were we?
The counting house.
Yes, thank you, the counting house. It was Christmas Eve, and the wind was howling cold and bitter. And there Mr. Scrooge sat, just as he did every day, keeping accounts and, of course, shouting at his poor and very, very overworked clerk, Mr. Bob Cratchit.
Cratchit!
Yes, Mr. Scrooge?
Did you put another piece of coal on this fire?
Oh, well, I did, Mr. Scrooge. It's just that the ink in my bottle was frozen.
I
It's so
see.
cold.
Mr. Cratchit, what day is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Christmas, sir.
You have a celebration with your family, no doubt.
Well, yes, Mr. Scrooge. Belinda has this wonderful goose cooking, and she also has...
And wouldn't it be rather a shame, Mr. Cratchit, if you spent what ought to be a lovely Christmas searching for a new situation?
What?
A job, Mr. Cratchit! A new job! If it becomes necessary for me to part with one more piece of coal, it will become necessary for us to part company. Do you understand?
Goodness, what an unhappy man.
The most happiest man in the world.
He was probably unhappy because his family wouldn't let him get dinner ready.
Yes, but Scrooge had no family. That is, he had just one, his jolly nephew, Fred.
save you.
Humbug.
Christmas, a humbug. Uncle, surely you don't mean that.
I do. Good day, nephew.
I'm sorry. What is this humbug?
It means nonsense, foolishness, idiocy, which is exactly how I feel about Merry Christmas.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
I said good day.
And I said Merry Christmas.
Christmas! Ah, what is Christmas but a time for paying bills without money? A time for finding yourself a year older, but not an hour richer. If I had my way, every fool who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and then buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle!
Nephew!
Come now, Uncle. What reason have you to be so unhappy? You are rich enough.
And what reason have you to be jolly? You're poor enough.
True, Uncle. But there are many things in this life that have done me great good, though I may have never profited by them. Christmas chief among them. Christmas, I am sure, is a good time. A kind, pleasant, charitable, forgiving time. The only time I know of in the long calendar of the year where men and women seem by one consent to open their heart freely to another and treat each other as close relations instead of just fellow passengers to the grave. Therefore, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good and will do me good, and I say God bless it.
Oh, bravo, sir. How well you say.
When did you become such a hopeless romantic? Why on earth did you get married? It's ruined you.
Why? Because I fell in love. Gross!
Exactly! Gross! Love. Bah! The only thing more idiotic than Merry Christmas.
It's no good, Uncle. I shall keep my Christmas humor to the last. I will go, but I will leave you with an invitation to Christmas dinner tomorrow with me and my charming wife. We would love to see you there.
Well, you will not.
Still, we shall set a place for you. Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Bah!
And a Happy New Year.
Humbug! Back to work, Cratchit.
Oh, yes, of course, Mr. Scrooge, I'm so... Oh.
You'll be wanting the whole day off tomorrow, I suppose.
Well, it is Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
There's a poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. Be here all the earlier the next day.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much, Mr. Scrooge.
Sit down!
Mr. Scrooge left his office. He hobbled along on his cane and made his way home. And on the way, he ran into a young orphan girl, and she was singing...
'Cause baby, all I want for Christmas is you.
Well, thinking maybe more of like an older traditional song, like something from when the days of Mr. Scrooge, you know, when he would have worn a top hat. For example, Silent Night, right from before. That's such a good one.
Silent night, holy.
What on earth are you doing, little girl?
Please, sir, a few coins for a little girl.
But I don't understand, little one. Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Have they all closed up?
There are, sir.
Well, then go there.
But, sir, those places are horrible. I would rather die.
Then at least you'll decrease the surplus population. Good day.
You're a poo-poo head, Mr. Scrooge.
You tell him, Sarah.
Mr. Scrooge continues on home. All the people of London cringe and scatter as he comes in their direction. Cringe and scatter. Carolers silence as he passes, and children stop their games and hang their heads.
Stop those games.
Some even say they've seen flowers wilt as he walks by.
Boo.
He goes home, if you can call it a home. Mr. Scrooge lived in a tall house surrounded by high walls and an iron gate. It was always dark, and Scrooge liked it that way because, of course, darkness was cheap. He went inside and climbed upstairs, where he ate a sad little dinner, in a sad little chair, in front of a sad little fire.
I think that's your cue, Grandpa.
What? I'm in this too?
Oh, yes, you know a story, don't you?
Well, yeah, but...
Well, there you are. Lovely, lovely. As Mr. Scrooge sits digesting his gruel, he's just about dozed off when he hears it.
the sound of something or someone climbing the stairs of his big, empty house.
What on earth? This is but my imagination.
Or so Scrooge thought.
But of undigested beef is playing games with my senses.
He tried to explain it away.
Humbug!
We tried to ignore it. A humbug.
Yes! Hum and bug!
Until
Scrooge! Ebenezer Scrooge!
Yes?
Ebenezer Wheezy, kind of sleazy, mac and cheesy Scrooge?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let me see your ID. I don't even know if I got the right house.
Grandpa!
What? All right. Moving on.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Jacob Marley, but you're dead!
Yes, I am dead, but I'm getting better.
But you're dead!
Yes, but I still look good in a bikini.
But you're dead!
Yes, and I also have a pet earthworm by the name of George.
All right, what brings you here, Jacob?
Oh, I just came by to say hi to an old pal. Hi.
Oh. Hello, Jacob.
Howdy. Oh yeah, and also to say that I'm doomed. I have died, yes, but I have no rest. I'm doomed to walk this earth night after night. Doomed to have no friends. Doomed to wear this tablecloth. Doomed to talk in this weird voice. But worst of all, I am doomed to carry this heavy chain with which I am bound.
Chain?
Yes, Ebenezer, chain. Chain, chain, chain. Woo, yeah, chain of fools. Woo, eat your heart out, Aretha Franklin.
Why do you wear this chain, Jacob?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, yard by yard, of my own free will. And you too are bound with such a chain. Yours was as long as this one a mere 7 years ago, and you have lengthened yours since.
No, Jacob, speak not this terror from beyond the grave. Speak comfort to me, Jacob.
I have none to give. Comfort comes from other regions, and is given by ministers to other kinds of men. Nor can I say much more. I cannot stay.
Why not?
Well, because at my age, it's hard to talk in this raspy voice for too long. But also because I must keep walking this earth. It's required of every man that he go forth, walk about, and share with his fellow men. If he fails to do this in life, he's condemned to do so after death. In life, I never left our little counting house. I never cared about the welfare of others. So now I must wander a wide and weary journey. No, Scrooge, no amount of time, no amount of regret can ever make amends for missing the opportunities to do good in this life.
Oh, but you did not waste your life, surely. You were such an excellent man of business, Jacob.
Business? Mankind should have been my business. The well-being of others should have been my business. Charity, mercy, tolerance, kindness should have all been my business. My job was but a mere drop of water in the vast ocean of my business. Hear me, Ebenezer Scrooge, you're racing toward your doom. But there's hope for you yet. On this very night, you shall be visited by 3 spirits. Expect the first one when the bell tolls 1. The second at the stroke of 2. And the third when the bell tolls 3. Heed well their words, Ebenezer, for your own sake and for the sake of all humanity. Look to see me no more.
Jacob!
Look to see me no more!
And there arose a great noise drowning out his final words.
No! Jacob, please, no! No, Jacob, have mercy, Jacob! I can't face the visitors! Jacob! Oh, where's he gone? Was he ever here? Oh, Ebenezer, you old fool! You let your imagination run wild. There are no such things as ghosts.
Oh, so Mr. Scrooge thought. But as he settled in for a good night's rest,
He heard the sound of a clock ringing in the distance.
the stroke of one.
Dong!
What's that? Nothing. Oh, only the old clock tower. 1 o'clock. And no visitors. Oh, Ebenezer, you old fool, you know there are no such things as ghosts. Ah, no, what is that? Probably just the creaking of an old house. Okay, all right, who boofed? Come on, that's not in the story, guys.
It was James.
Well.
It was James.
All right, you little stinker, knock it off. Continue, John.
Probably only the creaking of an old house.
Ebenezer!
Oh no, that is just a cane! No, nothing there. Come now, Ebenezer. You're letting your nerves get the better.
Ebenezer!
Oh no, please, I'm too young to die!
Hello. Hello from the other
Who are you?
Well, I'm the ghost whose coming was foretold to you.
Oh, it wasn't a dream then?
No, no such luck.
You're what, some sort of friend of Marley's?
Yes, I'm the ghost of Christmas past.
Ah, you're so bright.
Well, yes, Ebenezer. The long history of Christmas cheer, it's bright and glorious.
It hurts to look at you.
Yes, Ebenezer. You could never stand the Christmas spirit. It is you and people like you who've made Christmas about nothing more than money or greed.
Well,
It's you who've made my light of Christmas grow dim.
if I'm your enemy, then what brings you here?
Compassion.
For me?
Yes. Come along, Ebenezer.
Where?
To the past.
Long past?
Your past. Come up to the window.
What?
Well, take my hand. You'll not fall.
Very well.
Come on.
Oh, Spirit! Look, we're above the clouds, Spirit!
Yes, that is the way to the past, to let your mind soar above the endless expanse of sky and stars.
Look, Spirit, it's a bird! As a boy, I used to long to fly with the birds and to chase them.
Yes, Ebenezer, just so. Remember what it was like to be a boy.
Oh, no. Childish nonsense. What is grows out of such things? Oh, look, is that Big Ben? Imagine seeing it from above like this. It's so smooth. And the arms are moving backwards.
Yes, and see how quickly they spin. We're nearly there.
Oh, Spirit.
Do you know this place, Ebenezer?
Know it? Why, I was a boy here.
Oh, yes.
Look, there's the headmaster's house, and there are the stables we used to love to visit the horses, and the lake where we had so many swims in the warmer months.
And this boy, do you remember him?
Why, it's me. It's me as a little boy. How young I look.
Do you remember this particular Christmas?
It's hard to tell. There were so many like this. My father never wanted to interrupt my studies, and so I stayed at school every December when the other boys went home.
Well, perhaps you'll remember this.
Ebenezer!
It's Fan. Yes, of course I remember. My dear sister Fan.
Ebenezer, Merry Christmas!
Fan, what are you doing here?
I've come to take you home, Ebenezer. Father is ever so much kinder than he used to be. He sent me to come and fetch you, and you're to come home for Christmas, and we will have such a good time like we used to before Mother died.
Home, Fan. Do you mean it? Has Father really sent you?
Of course! Now get your things, Ebenezer. The goose is already cooking. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh, how I miss her. She died, you know, not many years later.
And she had a son, did she not?
Yes, my nephew, Fred. Yeah, he has a bright spirit, always going about with Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Humbug!
Spirit?
Any fool who goes around with Merry Christmas on his lips ought to be buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Oh, yes, I suppose I was rather hard on him this morning, wasn't I?
Yes.
I didn't mean it. I was only trying...
Come on, there's more.
More?
Well, yes, there's so much more to see.
Oh no, couldn't we stay? It's been such a long time since I've seen it.
Come, Ebenezer.
Very well.
Well, here's another Christmas. It's not too many years later. Do you remember this one?
Do I remember it? Why, it's old Fezziwig. And there's Fezziwig himself. I was an apprentice here. Every Christmas we'd have a party just like this one. He would shut down the shop and bring in music and food and insist we have the jolliest time you can imagine.
True, but what a waste.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, but time and money are both down the drain.
I know I thought so at the time, but look how happy we were.
Everyone. Oh, your attention for a moment, please. I just want to say a happy Christmas to you all. Oh, I'm so blessed to be surrounded by such warm and generous people. You know, it's so easy to forget all the good things in this life that do us good, but bring us no money. And Christmas is chief among such blessings. It's about goodness and love. And it's the only time I know when men and women consent to open their hearts freely and think of others as beloved family and relations. Therefore, my friends, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe Christmas has done us good and shall do us good, and I say, God bless it.
Here. What is it, Ebenezer?
My nephew, Fred, he said something very similar this morning.
Oh, did he indeed?
Yes, I told him he was a fool for believing it.
Oh, everyone, and now Mrs. Fezziwig would like to treat us all to the singing of a Christmas song. Oh!
What, Grandpa?
Come on, Mrs. F. You have a beautiful voice. Sing for us.
Not by myself.
Well, Amy, I suppose that's your cue.
What? No, not for anything. I wouldn't dream of subjecting our guests to my singing.
No, it's no good. Stefan's on our side. Right, Stefan?
Careful, Stefan.
I choose not to vote.
See? He's with us. You're outnumbered.
Isn't my part next anyway?
Oh, that's right. I always forgot this was your part. Dad always said that the best part of having John get married was to have you to be our belle.
Okay, well, that'll get you in the mood, won't it?
Oh, come on. You can't argue with that.
Oh, you two, honestly. Okay, I suppose I have to, but we need a third voice to round us out.
Okay, stop pinching me.
Oh, I gotta get my camera.
Dad, you're not getting out of this. This was your idea, so get your guitar.
Bossy.
I told
Whatever.
La 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 la. So, what shall we be performing tonight for your pleasure?
Best Christmas song ever.
Okay.
She Chandrik.
Yes!
She did what?
Yeah, I don't know that one. How about Deck the Halls?
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la.
And bow.
And though Scrooge's heart was filled with the joy of many happy Christmases past, he was soon painfully reminded of a Christmas just 1 year later, the Christmas where his heart first learned to hate the jolly month of December, especially the 25th day.
No, Spirit.
Ebenezer.
Spirit, please, I don't want to see...
Please. Sit. I want to talk to you. This is so hard, Ebenezer. You know I love you. And when you asked me to marry you, I was overjoyed. I never knew such happiness. But, well, in the last months, you've changed. You are not the man I met last year at Uncle Fezziwig's party. Even since we have been engaged, you have been transformed. Your greed has left no room for me. Yes, Ebenezer, I mean that. You have replaced our love with a golden idol. You say again and again that poverty is a terrible thing, but poverty of spirit is surely much worse. You fear the world too much, Ebenezer. All your dreams have merged into the single dream of being better than your fellow man, of having more money. Ebenezer, does wealth truly matter more than love?
I never.
I have seen your noble dreams fall off one by one until material gain has become your one obsession. See how your heart has changed, my love?
No.
There is no longer any room in it for me. I release you from your promise to me, with a heart full of love for the man you once were.
Spirit, why do you show me this? Do you delight to torture me?
The past is what it is, Ebenezer. Do not blame me if it's painful.
No, Spirit. No, I will not allow you to torture me with these foolish regrets. Take me home, Spirit. Take me home at once. I will not permit you to befuddle my mind with these sentimental illusions. Spirit, take me home at once. Spirit!
And suddenly Scrooge was back in his bed and clutching the covers over his head.
Spirit!
So it was a dream, then.
That's Scrooge thought.
But as Mr. Scrooge sat there alone in his cold, dark room, he could hear the wind outside whistling over the rooftops. He began to feel lonely. And for the first time in many years, he wished not to be alone. He longed for a warm fire, for a cup of cocoa, for a jolly friend to break the long hours. But Scrooge did not accept such thoughts.
Humbug!
He pushed them away from his mind as he closed his eyes to go to sleep.
Bah! Humbug!
But just then, a light came in from the next room. It flooded under the door and made him sit up with a start.
What's that?
Cautiously, Scrooge crept over to the door. He reached out slowly to grasp the handle and pulled it open, only to find...
Oh, for goodness sake!
Well, I can't play this part.
But I
have
just-
to be Cratchit in a minute.
I have just done my part.
Come on, Mom. Do it for the children.
You are as bad as your father.
Something to be proud of!
Oh, all right.
All right, as we were saying, cautiously Scrooge crept to the door. He slowly reached out and grasped the handle and pulled it open, only to find...
Come in.
Oh, really?
Okay, I'm so sorry, but I'm confused. In the script, the book, does it say that we play the ghost of Christmas Sucks? Not in the story.
Come in! Come in and know me better, man.
You are the second spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
And who are you?
17 years of marriage, and you don't even recognize me?
Oh, I know you, baby. Come here!
I'm the ghost of Christmas present, you old goat.
All right, spirit. I've already learned much from your compatriot this evening. I will try to learn from the lessons you teach.
Then the ghost of Christmas present spun old Scrooge around 3 times.
Ow, cramp.
Then made him stand on one foot.
All right.
Then pinched his cheek.
Ah!
Then kicked his bum. And then said,
Here we are.
Where are we?
Do you not know these dingy streets?
No.
Have you never been to this broken down old house?
Seriously, you don't even recognize that crappy couch?
Okay. No, Spirit, whose is it?
It is yours.
Mine?
It is one of the many housing blocks you rent to the poor, charging prices they cannot afford for conditions you cannot imagine.
And who lives here?
Your clerk.
Bob? Bob Cratchit lives here with his whole family, but it's so small.
Oh, it is all he can afford. Come, we will look inside.
Okay, everybody, this is all hands on deck. Sarah, if you want to go sit at the table with Grandpa, please. And James, if you want to go look out the window. And Sam, if you will be Martha for us tonight. Hey, Luca, do you want to play a part too?
It's all right, Luca.
All right, perfect. Then you can be Tiny Tim. Is my umbrella down here? Thank you so very much. He's got the funniest name. But you know what? He's my absolute favorite character. Okay, so you can use this. He has a sore leg, and so he uses a crutch to walk. And he also has weak lungs, and so he'll cough too. Perfect. You've got the part. Okay, so if you want to come over here with me, then we'll enter in just a second.
Have you never been in so poor a home, Ebenezer?
Spirit, is that all they have for Christmas dinner?
It is enough when it is received with gratitude.
James, do you see Father coming?
Yes, I do. I see Father coming.
Okay. Tell him I'm not here. I'll hide and surprise him. You tell him I couldn't come. Tell him they wouldn't let me have the day off.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
Merry Christmas.
Hello. Oh, Tiny Tim, why don't you come right over here and sit by the fire and just get warm? There we are. Now then, where's Martha? I don't see her.
She couldn't come.
What do you mean she couldn't come? Not even on Christmas?
Nope. They won't let her have a day off.
Who wouldn't?
I don't know. She just said that.
Wait a minute. This is Dickensian England. Telephones won't even be invented for another several years. How could you talk to Martha if she wasn't here?
Well, I
You got me. Here I am.
Now the whole family's together.
How is church, Father? How is Tim?
Oh, he was as good as gold and better. Oh, he said that he hoped people saw him on Christmas so that they might be reminded who it was who made blind men see and lame men walk.
Oh, that is very nice.
Good as gold indeed.
It's true. Well, Mrs. Cratchit, is dinner ready?
Who, me?
Well, of course.
Okay, well, I forgot the question.
Is dinner ready?
Yes. Sit up, everyone.
Spirit, what's wrong with the boy?
Ah, yes, that is Tiny Tim's. He was born with weak lungs and a problem with one of his legs.
Oh, can anything be done?
Well, there is a simple operation, but Bob Cratchit could never dream of affording a doctor.
Yes. Oh, now, before we all begin, I would like to raise a toast to Mr. Scrooge, the founder of our feast.
A toast to me?
To Mr. Scrooge.
Come, there is much to see.
Spirit, the boy, Tim, will he live?
It is hard to know, but I see an empty chair and a crutch without an owner sitting in the corner. If these shadows remain unaltered, I fear the boy will die.
No.
But what of it? If the boy is going to die, he'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Oh, Spirit. Where are we going now?
We are there already. Let's play a game.
Oh, look, it's my nephew Fred.
Lovely day.
I know. Let's play yes and no.
Oh, excellent.
Now I'm thinking of something. You try to guess what it is.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
Is it a cat?
No.
Is it a dangerous animal?
Certainly.
Does it growl?
All the time.
Is it a pony?
No.
Can you find it in London?
Yes.
Is it a tiger?
Not quite.
What do you think it is, James?
Is it a lion?
Closer.
Stefan?
I figured it out.
What is it?
It's Scrooge. It's me, Mr. Scrooge.
It is. Poor Uncle Scrooge. You know, I went to see him yesterday, and do you know what he said to me?
No.
He said Christmas is a humbug. He said it, and he believed it too. He's a funny old man, and not as nice as he might be. Still, his offenses carry their own punishment. Who suffers from his bad temper? Himself. He's even taken it to dislike us and to not come to dinner tonight. What is the consequence? He misses some very nice company and a pleasant dinner that might do him good. He may say he prefers to be alone, but I know he is very lonely. So even as he rants against Christmas, I will not stop going by and wishing him well in many happy returns. A toast to Scrooge. Wherever he is, may he have a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. To Scrooge.
To Scrooge.
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 Spirit?
Listen carefully to me, for my time here is coming to an end.
So soon?
My life upon this globe is very brief, for the present is an opportunity not to be missed.
Yes, I'm listening, Spirit.
The spirit began to fade, to become less and less opaque. Swaying and stumbling, the spirit pulled aside its cloak to reveal two children, both tattered and both shivering with the cold.
See these children, Ebenezer. Look upon them well. Remember their hollow eyes, their sickly faces.
Spirit, are they yours?
They are yours.
Mine?
They belong to everyone, to humankind. This boy is ignorance. This girl is want. Beware of them both, Ebenezer, but mostly beware of the boy, for he leads to doom unless there is education. Both of them are our responsibility. No one should go hungry. No one should be shunned. We should care for one another.
Spirit, is there nothing that can be done?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses?
Oh, Spirit!
And suddenly Scrooge was back in his room alone, kneeling in the darkness of the deepest night. Amy, what's wrong?
Oh, it's nothing. I'm fine. Go on. Mom?
Amy, what's the matter?
I was just thinking, if it were my children who were hungry, I'm very glad you and Luca are here, Stefan. I hope you know that.
Oh, thank you.
Stefan, I'm sorry. Well, one of the benefits of having a home is welcoming others into it, and when there's food, there's joy in sharing it. The holidays just get so chaotic, it's easy to forget that. I am so glad you're here.
Me too.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Perhaps the story.
Let's go! Where were we?
Okay, well, Mr. Scrooge was alone in his room, kneeling in the darkness of deepest night.
I seem to be kneeling in the darkness of deepest night.
The ghost was gone, but Mr. Scrooge did not find himself back in his bed. Suddenly, he became aware of another presence nearby, just behind. It made his hair stand on end and sent goosebumps running up and down his arms. Turning around, he gasped.
And you are? You, I suppose, are the third spirit whose coming was foretold to me. I have already met the ghost of Christmas past and the ghost of Christmas present. You, perhaps, are the ghost of Christmas yet to come. I fear you, spirit, though I do not know why. I have already learned much this evening. Perhaps I do not need another lesson.
But the spirit was not persuaded. Instead, the tall figure just stood there and silently stared back at Scrooge.
Well, very well. Lead on, spirit. Spirit, where are you taking me? Spirit, oh, it's so dark and dismal. Spirit, where are we going?
Well, I never thought I'd see the day.
Nor did I. I thought he was just gonna go on being nasty and mean forever.
Died in his sleep then, did he?
Yeah, no one knows. It was days before anybody found him.
Yes.
He didn't have many visitors.
Well, all right then. What have you brought me?
I've got his bed curtains.
Not from the bed he died in.
Why not? He don't need them. Not now that he's cold and 6 feet under.
Ah, I got one better for you. I got his bed sheets here. Silk they is. Stole them right out from under him.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. 2 pence apiece.
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Take it or leave it.
Oh, all right, you old codger.
Well, it's not like we got much of a choice then now, have we?
Spirit, who is this poor soul they mock in the hour of his death? Is there no kindness associated with this man? No.
Happy birthday, Melinda. You know, the kids, they wanted to visit too, but with their own families, it's just so hard. I miss you so much. I hope you're at peace.
Spirit, I don't understand.
Sweet little Jacob. Our house isn't quite the same without you. You are the most cheerful of my children. It seems some of the light has gone out of our home. We think of you fondly, dear. I pray you are at peace.
Spirit, why show me this? Where is the grave of the dead man? Is there no one who will visit his grave and pray for his... What's there, Spirit? I can't see it. Oh, Spirit, it's a tombstone all overgrown with weeds. This is not the grave of the dead man, is it? All right, Spirit. But before I look, I must know, are these the shadows of things that must be, or only the shadows of things that might be? Very well, Spirit. Very well. Ebenezer Scrooge! No! No, Spirit, please! Spirit, no! Have mercy! Spirit, I will change! Please have mercy! Spirit, tell me I can change! Spirit! Spirit! And then... No! Spirit! Spirit? Back in my bed. Alive! Oh, thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Jacob Marley. I will honor Christmas in my heart, and I will try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future, and the spirits of all three shall strive together within me. Oh, thank you, Jacob. Thank you. Oh, I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a little schoolboy.
Mr. Scrooge was a whole new man. He climbed up onto his window seat and called out to the streets below.
Bright, clear, jovial skies, oh, and cold, piping for the blood to dance to. A Merry Christmas! Ooh, if it is Christmas, I suppose I don't know. You down there, hello, hello.
What's that, sir?
You, my fine fellow, what day is it today?
Well, it's Christmas Day, sir.
Christmas Day, I haven't missed it. I say, do you know the butcher shop around the next corner?
I sure hope I do.
Oh, very intelligent young man, much like his father, no doubt. Yes. Do you know if they've sold the prize turkey that's hanging there?
One as big as me?
Yes, our pleasure to talk to him. Yes, my fine fellow.
It's hanging there right now.
We'll go and buy it.
You're daft. How can I do such a thing?
Oh, yes, of course. Well, here is all the money you might need. Here's one for you, and another for taking the trouble, and here's one because it's Christmas, and here's two because the sun is shining. Be back in 5 minutes, and there'll still be more.
I'm off!
Send it to the Cratchits, and they won't know who sent it. It's as big as... No, it's twice the size of Tiny Tim.
Mr. Scrooge threw on his coat in a hurry, and then he ran down to his front stoop, and he breathed in the sights and sounds.
Christmas morning in London, I shall love it all my life. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all the world. Merry Christmas. Oh, hello, my dear. Yes, I suppose I deserve that, don't I? Well, hear me out. I just want to say Merry Christmas, and what's more, for you. Merry Christmas! Oh, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Oh, nephew!
Uncle Scrooge?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What time is dinner tonight?
Dinner?
Yes, you did say I could come, and I'm so looking forward to it, and to meeting your charming wife.
It's at 8.
8 o'clock,
Scrooge.
I'll see you then. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And now off to the Cratchits.
Where we have a turkey that is just being delivered, as big as, but no, it's twice as big as Tiny Tim. It's the biggest turkey you could possibly imagine. And
the turkey!
Oh, well, Mrs. Cratchit, it looks as though we have a turkey, so what shall we do now?
We haven't set the table.
Oh, well, then we'd better set the table, haven't we?
Set the table!
Come on, everyone. The good place. Sorry about that. I've got these. Oh,
Who sent it, do you think?
blimey if I know.
Who could it have been?
And just then, there was a knock at the door. Who could it be?
Cratchit!
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, hello.
What on earth are you doing, Mr. Cratchit?
Well, I'm sitting down.
Why were you not at work this morning?
At work? Oh, but Mr. Scrooge, it's Christmas. Did I say I could have the whole day?
I said no such thing. This is bad, Mr. Cratchit. This is very bad.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, you don't mean...
You have left me no choice.
Oh, please.
But to double your wage.
Oh, no, Mr. Scrooge, please, I'm so sorry. I won't... You didn't see...
Yes, Bob, I'm doubling your salary. Merry Christmas. And Tiny Tim shall have all the operations he might need, all paid for by me. And that turkey, just my gift to say thank you, Bob. Job well done, and Merry Christmas.
Oh, goodness.
And you, I suppose, are the young man they call Tim. A very excellent young man, by all accounts. I want you to know that if you ever need anything at all, anything, you shall have it. What's mine is yours, and Merry Christmas to you and to all your family. Hit it, Grandpa. Come together, one and all, in the giving spirit. Gifts abound here, great and small. Joyously we feel. Remember this one? Blessings sent us from above, guide us on our way. We raise our voice as we rejoice, bow our head and pray. A miracle has just begun. God bless